Flame on, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dragon Bear's video. This video is more or less towards those particular morning TV shows. Don't care if the show is based in England, Canada, the USA, New Zealand, over in my country, Australia, or any place in the world. I find the whole premise of morning TV, well, breakfast and morning TV shows to be uh, virtually a laughable thing to watch. Firstly, you look at some like a TV show. I'm using Australian-based TV shows here to more suggest a point. But if you want to, you can do some research on it. Do a YouTube search, and you find out. Firstly, you look at some of the men on these shows. They're either a reporter that can't find sustainable work. They are some philosophy major from some Desaro University with trumped up credentials, or they're simply a washed up actor can't who hasn't been able to transition away from fame. The same thing can be said for the female presenters as well. Over here in Australia, we have a presenter from the show Studio 10. His name is Joe Hildebrand. Hildebrand. Um, his name is a bit confusing, but I'll push on through. He is the beta male. There are 5 women and 1 of him. And when these 5 women get to one singular point, he usually tags on. They're like they're like little girls, and he's just a puppy. On other ones, well, on the weekend you got Andrew O'Keefe, who is virtually an ultimate joker, an ultimate joke. When he says, "Oh, Australia needs to stop all this negativity towards this group of people because it'll send a bad image of us to the world." Let me see. The Cronulla riots. Actually, let's not call it a riot. Let's call it a revolution. The Cronulla revolution already painted Australia in a certain way. And it's been our politicians on their knees kissing up to onto other nations to beg for their forgiveness, when they should be actually doing more work to support the Australian way of life instead of the way of lives of countries that hate our guts. If they want to, they can hate our guts for free. That's it with guys like Andrew O'Keefe. And predominantly of these type of individuals, they are very much one-sided against illogical thought. And even when someone does try to present a logical debate, they usually get shot down with the terminology racist, bigot, homophobe, misogynist, uneducated, and those words nowadays have started to become like the Charlie Brown saxophone talk. Yeah, this did. Don't worry, be happy. Because that's what it actually sounds like. Yes, I just did a Metallica one. Rick Orange's Hulk, Real American. That's all it's starting to sound like. When all these hosts and presenters say, "Oh, you've been a racist," and insert some little miscellaneous comment about. One time there, it was one of the discussions was about, and this happened across quite a lot of the field here. Racial, let me see, political. Political ideology taught in schools, and how one woman was saying that you vote for this person, I'm not going to be your teacher, or you can get your parents to sign you up for another class, or get out of the school completely. Drew McSwain was speaking illogical things by saying kids should not be taught political way of thinking at this stage of their lives. They're under 10 years old. They have more things to worry about with not finishing their projects and their homework on time, let alone do some extra, like do some sort of health based activities like run around or burn off energy so they can sleep properly for night. Then this Andrew O'Keefe said, "Oh, what about teaching religions in school? Isn't that doing the same thing?" No, it's not. Different people have different faiths, and they send their kids to public schools, and technically it's the public schools' job to allow special religious education into their schools. Sadly, New South Wales, over here in Australia, is the only state that allows such things to occur. Another thing that all these things are jokes with, going off a now deceased system of doing things. Let's look at. Let me see. Let's look at advertisement. You most probably could see on other YouTube videos, like like a small little thing over like at the bottom here saying Smith's chips, the best. Then it'll turn around with like what it has over here, scrolling that away or that away, then it returns to that. On the bottom, there's those sorts, and there are ads on YouTube where they're actually demonstrating the usage of the certain product. Like I could be demonstrating the properties of this ruler. And let me just do an advert for exploration for exploratory terms. Let's see. Super. This brilliant Azar ruler. As you can see, it is a whopping 50 centimeters long. Give or take a few centimeters on each side. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the best ruler to have in your pencil case or on the job, marking out the best places to put hydraulic drills to make the tunnels perfectly smooth. By Ozzer. By the Ozzer 50 centimeter ruler, and you will be fine. You see, I just did an ad for a company that is who's now defunct, but that product is still around in various homes, like what I am in now, my home. There are TV adverts, and I'll put a description of TV ads from outside of my area, but they are still ads nonetheless. Those they do like 2-minute breaks of ads. So having a sit down with someone, and then like a person will be sitting down like this and going, well, ladies and gentlemen, have you thought about the protection of your company? Let me just quickly get up. Like they go, let's see. Have you thought about how to protect your company? How to protect the valuables that are within the safes, within the filing cabinets, and also your files on your computers. Now here today we have James Gunn to speak about, if you're worried about, we have our special guest today, Mr. or Sergeant, Military Sergeant retired James Gunn. Mr. Gunn, how are you? Good day. Good day, Janine. I'm doing quite well. And yes, in businesses today, we do have, in several businesses, especially with the cyber crimes coming nearby, we do have a long range of products that we can give to you, we can express to our customers or to your viewers. Our range goes from the stock standard CCTV to the industrial laser alarm system and full panic room situation if you are within your company. Then it goes on to go. Let me just go like this again. Oh really? How much will it cost? It's only cost a monthly payment of $150 for the basic and $528 for the mid-range and $1,000 to $2,000 for the mega packages. And such things do go on and on. Like, it goes on for about 5 minutes of the broadcast, and sometimes it repeats the broadcast as well. And you got the same person on 3 or more television networks pitching the same thing. Like, as I may mention, retired insert military branch here, retired, insert military rank, branch here, sergeant, and I've made mention that this particular sergeant is James Gunn. And let's just say this retired sergeant is an army a sergeant of the Australian Army, or the sergeant of the Royal Australian Army Armed Forces, or the Royal Australian Army. And that same person can go on to, well, I'm just using over in Australia, since we have 3 major networks that do these sort of things out of the 5. Channel 10, Channel 9, and Channel 7. All 3 of them having the same person just rattling off the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. When just a few hours prior, like before the early morning news, would have been his product being shown on television. And that would have been towards the shift workers that are most probably going to be coming home or going to their jobs prior to the show going to air, or these morning TV shows coming to air. There was, let me see, sorry, just a bit of an itch here. Then you got some gossip. Let me see. What am I doing now? I'm making a video. I'm making a video for YouTube. And where is YouTube? On the internet. Let me see. Richard Wilkins, all these celebrity interviewers and whatnot. Here. Back up. You've got Richard Wilkins. He, an entertainment reporter. Then you've got various ones on Studio 10. And the same thing for Channel 7. Various entertainment reporters. guess what? I'm going to pull a President Donald Trump on these, on all of these reporters. Your branch of news and broadcasting is dead. Why wait for you to put together your notes? By the time it takes for you, people like Richard Wilkins, to put your reports in that together, try to articulate it for people to understand what's happening. Five gossip. Let me see. I'm using E-Online here. Let me see. Richard Wilkins, you were a former MTV presenter, and you're now an entertainment reporter. By the time it took you to write down and try to articulate things that you want to say about say about Oprah's Oprah being stunned about the death of Mary Tyler Moore. Many more stories have been told, like Jennifer Lopez loses restraining order against alleged stalker, Scarlett Johansson and Romain Duchek break up, Zach Marigan carries Gigi around with him wherever he goes. The actual telling of the death of Mary Tyler Moore. The telling of a reunion between A Walk to Remember stars Mandy Moore and Shane West. I just showed off 5 things that happened, and it will take you a lot more time to discuss one story than it is for someone to simply go onto Celebrity News, and this is the Daily Mail. Let me see. In the same time for you to regale that, you go. Someone can read up on all the hottest. Stylish in stripes. Kelly Osbourne jets out of LA, rocking new skin-tight black denim with wide-brimmed hat. Then they can go with United States showbiz and speak about, and they can read on are you going to marry this guy? Brian Tanaka Tanaka confronts Mariah Carey about James Packer engagement on season finale of Mariah's World. And they can go to read up on gossip direct from LA with the stories of Taylor Swift is Bampy in black bra and Zayn Malik is dashing tailored suit for I Don't Wanna Live Forever 50 Shades Darker trailer to points about Christina Milan's hams it up for the camera outside a wall painted with the lips of West Hollywood. And in action, Heidi Klum directs sexy photo shoot between two near naked next top model contestants on a bed moving down Hollywood Boulevard. And that's from the Daily Mail. Those things, well, I just read out, like, I just read those titles, but people actually click onto those pages and read the full context of the story in the same time as it takes Richard Wilkins just to present one thing. So Richard Wilkins and people, he's what your time in as telling people the gossip and the news about Hollywood or about celebrities, your days are over. I've just trumped your asses. Pipe bomb. That's gone. You can also see it on Facebook. A lot of people now are on their phones first thing in the morning. Look on the let's say a lot of people, and say a certain number of people. As soon as I wake up, tap, 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 looking around. Let's just pretend the sheet of paper is a tablet, and they go, huh. They go press on. Facebook, what their friends from overseas are doing. Oh, that person died. Click. Oh, sad. Then they go back. And they could read gossip, the gossip columns, and read up on gossip news prior to their first cup of coffee, glass of orange juice, or their first meal of the day. Could have already read 5 stories, but by the time they decide to get up and go to the toilet. So bye bye gossip. that sort of thing, reporting is done and dusted. The news. Same scenario. Get up. Oh. What? There was a fire a few suburbs over? Whoa. Hope they're insured. Back. Oh, someone got killed overnight. That's sad. Someone got stabbed overnight, or someone got killed overnight, or someone got beaten up overnight. And they're still scrolling, and there's still news coming up. Like people in America on the 9th of November last year would have just looked at, whoa, Donald Trump won? All before they were able to get their preferred morning uh, fluid intake in, and breakfast. That leaves the Today Show, Good Morning America, and other such programs obsolete. The same thing can go for movie reviews. And you just got everything nowadays is you can find it on a tablet, mobile phone, or a laptop. No, don't worry. It's not an earthquake. It's not an earthquake. I'm just checking my laptop computer. This is where the news is going. This is where the entertainment news or gossip is going. Weather reports are going. People giving independent movie reviews. All these things are going to these particular to the internet. The internet, let me just say, the internet killed the morning TV show. It's like the old song. Movie MTV killed the radio star, which is true. Quite a lot of people nowadays go to channels like VH1, go to MTV, Music Less Television. They go to Max. They go to, over here in Australia, Max, any country and western. Type cable station, or even online. MTV radio online, the VH1 radio online. Country music radio online. Pandora, one of the biggest online radio stations out there, and you can tell them what you want to listen to. Which is a side note, but still, the point is valid. Internet has killed the Today Show, the the morning TV show. Who cares if the morning show is from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock to 9, or from 8:30 to 11, 12, or a combination of leading into those sort of things. For about 6 to 7 hours. In that time, they repeat themselves. From the morning program, clips of that get shown into the early morning program gets shown into the mid-morning to early afternoon program, which gives a lot more would has this become like mid to late morning shows and just end up becoming like a clip show with advertisement in there when companies are paying for advertisement on infomercials where there are now dedicated TV networks using this sort of having nothing but infomercials. Half an hour infomercials to tell you what the 5 minutes of the 5 to 10 minutes of these particular things on these morning shows can do. You get to see the product demonstration. You get to see different people in the roles of those particular individuals who are wanting to show the adverts. Even the little 15-second to half a minute long ads in between segments, it's like ad upon ad upon ad on TV. And with them going, with the system, it's just boring, it's repetitive. The formula is RIP, it's done. And there's no way for it to recuperate. Back when I was a kid, there was only one morning TV show, and that was the Today Show. And 9 and that was on channel 9, 7 and 10 had a ratings war with TV morning cartoons. The cheese and the aggro going head to head. Now it's virtually whitewashed with all these information type shows, with all these advertisements and gossip and news and fashion. Hell, by the time the fashion expert gets to say one line about a new design of black dress, that has become out of date in today's online searching. Oh wow, that looks cool. Type it up, and then gives like a reason why that this is the new fashionable thing. When technically, it was fashionable, but now not so fashionable. It's like old news. Everything that these shows once did, they were the prime thing before the invention of the internet. The Today Show, Sunrise, Studio 10, Good Morning America, Australia or America, Mornings with Bert, the 6 a.m. show, Early Sunrise, Recap of the Day. All these type of shows are now dead. It's just people that don't understand. Like, get up, they turn the show. It's just instinct. It's like sheep. These sheep go click. Oh. Find out the day's news. Okay, boom, go off. But really, with the advent of the internet and people actually making sure that these things are real, doing their own investigating, it's virtually worthless having these shows on. Hell, if I was Mr. James Packer, the late great Kerry Packer's son, and I still had control of Channel 9, first thing I'll be saying, internet's beating us in giving people the news early in the morning. The internet is beating us in giving the gossip. YouTube, people are getting swamped by ads on their favorite videos. We have dedicated 3 hours of the early morning to like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or how many hours dedicated between the last movie to an episode of Skippy over here in Australia. We already have all these advertisement people doing this thing. We already renting out our airwaves to ads. So to the people of today, sharpen your game. Don't fart ass around with these inappropriate sexual jokes. For the simple reason is, children are getting ready for school at these times, and the parents of these children don't want their child to just say the weather presenter is doing something at a farm type show in the city, and he's holding a big rooster, and it happens to be black, and the presenter goes, "Oh, that's a massive black cock you have." A joke. But the child would be up, they would have heard it, see one of their friends with us who went to show, who just innocently in show and tell would bring a painting of a small white rooster and goes, "Look at what my granddaddy did over the weekend." Or my grandma, or "Look at what I bought at a farm at insert this township farm, this township's annual farm show." Or over here in Australia, over here in New South Wales, we have the Royal Easter Show. Or "Look what I got, the Royal Easter Show." Like some sort of show where rural meets urban meets city, like suburb, like all that sort of stuff. Look, isn't this picture of a beautiful rooster so wonderful? I love this picture because there's a big barn in the background, and it's standing on top of a big wooden fence. Isn't this a beautiful thing? And the Christian goes, "Miss, is that a small white cock?" Simple thing. Child sees grown-up humor. They adapt that grown-up humor to be how people will actually talk, and that child would be pulled into the principal's office. Mother gets pulled in, or father gets pulled in, or guardian gets pulled in. The principal says, "Oh, little insert child's name here. It said about insert this other child's name here that they're holding a small white cock. Where do you think that they got that particular thing from? Unaware, just a brief few hours earlier, the weather presenter was holding a big rooster in his arms, and one of the presenters said, "Oh, look at that big, massive cock you got in your hands." It's just something like that could get a child into a lot of hot water, or even man bashing or women bashing in sexualized humor. You got all sorts of jokes that are more prevalent to be in the more should be most presented at the time when the children are asleep instead of when they are awake. I've watched 2 episodes this year alone, from start to finish, and 2 episodes of each. And these are the early morning ones when children are about to get ready for bed. Not ready for bed, ready for school. It is very shocking to see these children just to be. There are jokes about women saying, "Look at all you have to do is look at the best of Karl Stefanovic," and I'll put the link in the description I'll put this in the description. The best of Karl Stefanovic. There's a lot of sexual innuendos there. There's so many you could. As I said, I don't care if you're in England or if you're in Australia. I don't care if you are in the pretty states of America or the daftness of Canada. Don't care if you're across the ditch in New Zealand. These shows are dead. Every last one of them. All they're just doing is. Let me just grab something a bit more sharp. Oh, I know, I'll grab the ruler. No, I'm not jacking off. That's what's happening. They're in the casket and they're scratching, trying to stay alive. Sooner, these TV networks see that their morning TV show bread and butter is dying, sooner they'll be able to produce far better quality television. Hell, even the ABC once had a very beautiful educational properties from 9:30 to 12. 2.5 hours of educational stuff. And one of the programs was BTN, Behind the News, and they were literally to explain what is actually happening in the news to children. That is now gone to some sub-branch of the ABC, which let me be honest with you, it sucks. And lastly on this topic, to all presenters, I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're that once fat, now thin, then fat, then thin, then fat, then thin, fat, thin. African American in America. To some of these, to our crazy relatives across the ditch in New Zealand. Those innocent-minded teenager attitudinal things in Canada. The pompous stick up the butts in England, or over here in Australia, where the sexual jokes flow ever so effortlessly out of your mouths like water over a waterfall. Either shape up the way that the news, entertainment, music, and acts are presented on your shows. Do that. If you can do that well, with having late breaking news, on the second it gets reported, don't worry about this fashion bullshit. Don't worry about this nonsense with doing like the soldier on with Codrol. Trash that. Literally go, we are not wasting any more of our time on this bullshit of advertisement. These ads have to go. Because it literally takes away from speaking about topical points of the day. And that's from the 8:30 or 9 o'clock on stretch onwards. To be honest with you, I'm actually sick of it. Them in the middle of a heated discussion about women's rights, only for one of the hosts to go, "Calm down, guys. We know who doesn't have this problem," and it's off to the races with some daft brain bimbo or some fella that looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. They need to change their formats tremendously. And even musical acts. Nowadays, I could have this size pen, this size thing, have it pointed into the line of fire where a band is practicing. And it could be beside something like this. This records. That is a camera. A simple, what looks like a simple small subwoofer speaker, and something as innocent looking as a pen could be the tools needed to leak a band perfecting their act. Like you go, ooh, okay, sweet, I got this information, guess what? Ping, upload to their computer, da 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 da. shrink, 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 or shrink, shrink, shrink. If it's a laptop, you have like the button, like the mouse pad, flat pad. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. No, click, click, click. Hey, click, click, click. And click, click, click. Ah, the file is being uploaded. Okay. The band goes on at 5:55. No, the band goes on at 8:55. The time now is 7:20. Oh, good. Still got an hour and a half. So they go. Okay. It's finally uploaded. Swing, 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 click, 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 swing, move, move, move. Get down to the brief edit, like from start to finish. Make that into a file. Which making files nowadays like that. And do like some fake online account, which is done like that. And 10 minutes before they get on to air, that song, that brand new single, would be leaked. So unfortunately, there goes your musical act. When thousands of people, if not millions of people, would have seen it prior to the broadcast of said band doing said song. Nothing lasts forever. So says life itself. And on that note, let me just say, the internet has truly killed the morning TV shows. Burn you later.